That was my Christmas present from my wife this year.
Dude, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Jeez. All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Caliber Corner episode number 222, season 4. We're a very lively bunch this morning. We really need to turn the pre-chat on. We had an awesome discussion. We discussed everything from sports injuries that we had when we were in high school to just, holsters. It was actually really cool. We might just have to start going 20 minutes early here in the near future. So anyway, welcome everybody. Welcome to the show. I am Travis P11. If you're not familiar with the podcast, we talk about firearms. We talk about ammo. Today we got a topic that everybody loves to talk about, what I consider cheap or inexpensive firearms. Not cheap in terms of quality, but just inexpensive in terms of price. I've got some great news for everybody. Prices are dropping. Things are looking better. Under $350, there's a ton of options out there. Now, I did post a survey today on YouTube. Please understand when I do that. I'm just trying to put really popular choices up there or just whatever comes to mind. And there's a million guns I could have put up there to choose from in the top 4. And we'll take a look at that survey here in a little bit. The idea today is basically I've just gone over to Gunbroker and I've filtered $350 and less. And we're just going to see what's for sale out there. I'm not going to go by pistol or not going to go by revolver or pistol type. I'm not going to go by, we're just going to look and see what it throws at us. And you got a ton of options out there. So I'm excited. All right. And so anyway, let's go ahead and let the panel introduce themselves and we'll get this party started. I have no idea how long today's show is going to be. We might go for an hour or 2 hours, but either way, we're going to have a good time. I am going to go out to the range today. I'm going to have a good time. It's supposed to be 50 degrees. I froze yesterday making a video with my Shadow 2, but it was definitely worth it because a sort of bad day at the range is always better than a good day at work, right? Okay, so on my right, we've got Rich White. It's been almost a year and a half since he's been on the show, so let's make him feel welcome. Rich, good morning. How you doing, buddy? How's it going?
Good morning. House hunting will do that, My wife, for the longest time, she had Saturdays off every week, so that was house hunting day. So
well, for a year, I had to do my show on Monday night, so yeah.
Her schedule is weird. Working healthcare, she was off Thursdays, worked Fridays, and would be off Saturdays. So Thursdays and Saturdays were the house hunting days, and then when we finally got a place that we wanted and got it all, went through everything and got the closing and that done. Thursday was to go to the house and work on it day. So I haven't been on your show or Sandhill's show in about the same time period but that time Thursday night came around, I just wanted to go to bed, and then Saturday morning we were out talking to realtor and stuff, looking at houses.
So you're here. Let's go ahead and give you a little shameless plug. You got a couple shows that you do. What are the 2 shows that you do?
Well, Saturday nights at 9:05 p.m. Eastern, the old school WTBS time from back in the 80s. If you guys remember, WTBS was always 5 minutes behind.
Oh, absolutely. Yep,
so as a tribute to that, we do the wrestling show that we do every week at 9:05 p.m. Eastern. Nice, so that'll be on the Unloaded Media channel. And tonight, and sometimes we do wrestling pay-per-view watch-alongs on that show as well. So there will be times where that show and This Week Unloaded, which will be tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, will switch days. So we will announce that beforehand if that happens, because if we got a pay-per-view that's on a Sunday, sometimes they're on Saturday, sometimes they're on Sunday. So if the pay-per-view is on Sunday, we'll flip the shows around. So from one being on Saturday to the other being on Sunday.
That's right, guys. So make sure you check it out, man. It's good stuff, and those go forever. Anybody can jump in. Anybody can watch. I mean, it's always a good chat. You guys get a lot of people that participate. Yeah. It's always fun to talk wrestling, right?
Yeah. Last Sunday we did a mock trial where I had Guns and Barbecue and New York Outcast were defense attorneys. G23 was the prosecuting attorney. Squib was just Squib.
That was role playing. Squib was a character witness. Yeah.
Barbecue and Rob had to do closing argument if they were defending CRS.
Oh, did you guys do it as a poll? Like at the end, you post a poll so people can vote, so we can see how the jury decided on that one?
It got so convoluted, we didn't even get to that point. Rob actually got where he was also charged with money laundering. He did such a good job as a defense attorney.
Oh man, that would actually. I need to go back and listen, dude. That's hilarious, man.
Oh man, it was fun.
Mock trial cases. We're doing like fan fiction now, or we're doing.
That was like the first half of the show, and we got more serious discussion about the case after that.
Yeah,
but it was fun.
You got a little comment from Tacos and French Fries. He says, "Rich, that was one of your best shows ever." Speaking of best shows, MK Outdoor Journal, last night's podcast that he did on the whole CRS Firearms discussion was great. I like the idea that we are self-policing ourselves for the most part in these podcasts. I get tired when these things turn into screaming fest and we just end up cursing each other out and then dropping. It's nice when we can have a civil discussion, try to see each other's viewpoints. And I think a lot of us just kind of hit a gray area on certain topics where we can't go one way or the other when it comes to making a decision on things. But it's good to have those discussions. I think it's healthy, even though we're all kind of we're on the same team here. A lot of the times we have different viewpoints about things, and it can lead to some issues and divisions, which we don't. I mean, we can have our opinions, but guys, we got to hang together, man, because we are all we got anymore. So all you got to do is watch the news. All right. Well, anyway, Rich, we're glad to have you back, and we're only getting older, so it's good to have you with us. And then also joining us from the East Coast with the most, we got Single Shot. Single Shot, what's going on? How's it going, dude? What are you doing?
Good morning. Good morning, everybody in the chat.
Get your breakfast down? I'm still waking up, bud.
Yeah, I just got my breakfast. Now I gotta get out and fuel this thing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be busy here for a few minutes, but
okay.
I headed back up into Maine. I got to make this delivery tomorrow night, and then I'm gonna go home for a few days. Maybe I can get something actually done this time.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, like take care of yourself, and have some downtime.
Oh, yeah. Lately, the only time that I've had at home really was anywhere from 34 to 37 hours. That's it. Come home and do a couple things real quick at the house, and that's it. So, been very busy. But,
so make sure you guys check out the Single Shot channel. It's single space shot ! You'll find it if you type that in, because if you just type in Single Shot as a search on YouTube, you'll never find it, because there's so many single shot videos that are out there that you'll easily find it. You'll find this big burly guy, kind of looks like Santa Claus, sitting there reloading or showing you how to cast bullets or doing any number of great things on the channel. So get over there and subscribe to it.
I'm also on Rumble as Daywolf. So if you guys want to check that out and see some of the videos that well, I'll be nice. The people at YouTube won't allow. So we're gonna continue posting over there as well. So you're welcome to join in, and maybe we'll have a chance to grow that channel a little bit. We got a few folks over there already. So it's good.
It is a gaming platform, so.
Yeah, that reminds me. I also have a Rumble where my stuff gets automatically uploaded over there once I'm done with recording it on YouTube. So if you, for some reason, you don't see the shows on YouTube, you might be able to find it over on Rumble.
I got to figure out how to do that.
Well, you just go into your settings and it should have where you can automatically transfer it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not on other platforms right now, but I need to look into some of these other places just because there's so many other places. I mean, I'm on Odyssey and Gunstreamer and UGEtube, and I don't know, I may or may not have videos over on GunTube. I need to subscribe to GunTube so I have space to post videos. But I think it's awesome, man. It's good that you're over there and you're building yourself a platform and getting an audience. It's always cool to offer people something fun to come to and find some comfort in these trying times with content they can identify with and people that actually care about them. So cool, man.
Single Shot. When you go over there, you go to where you got your account and you see all your selections down the right side of the screen. If you scroll down you'll see under videos on that, you'll see YouTube channel sync, and you just put your YouTube channel in there and it automatically sync it.
So I was wondering about that. Will it import your old videos for anybody that's kind of curious about getting into it that's not over there? Will they import the previous content or not?
Yeah, it asks you how far back you want to go on importing your stuff over there. And stuff.
7 years? Yeah, that'd be nice.
I did back for October, but
what if I can crash Rumble with my content like I did VidMe? VidMe did not like me, so VidMe. Well, no, they did, but everybody gives me a hard time because as soon as I uploaded my content, VidMe was going out of business.
I think Rumble's a bigger company than what VidMe was. So,
Rumble's got their. We're learning from all these failed platforms what it takes to keep a platform actually running.
Yeah, I mean, you got people like Steven Crowder. Yeah, Rumble. You got people like Steven Crowder and stuff over there. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
Yeah.
Also joining us. Go ahead, Single Shot.
I was wondering too, Rich. Does that have to have a computer, or can I do that on my smartphone?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I've never tried it with my smartphone, so I always just use my computer. So I honestly, I don't know.
Check out the app. I'm sure they've got some options. And, usually I don't know about importing specifically. You may have to log into a computer to import, but the app is probably going to offer you lots of options for uploading and viewing. And just like Gunstreamer and UGEtube both offer that too if you sign in. So cool. Okay. All right. So also joining us, we got Defense Dad. I was getting worried. I didn't think you're going to be here. What's going on, Sleepyhead?
Oh, the kid was at her mom's and she called to say good morning.
Oh, I gotcha. Well, that's good. Well, we're glad you're here. This is a discussion that affects you and I heavily, as you and I tend to buy a lot of guns that are $350 and below, new and used. We're going to open this one up to new and used. We haven't discussed this topic. I don't even know. It's probably been maybe 50 episodes. I need to go back and see how long it's been, maybe a year or two since we've had this topic. We did a thing where we said, what guns are out there for $250 and less, $350 and less, $450 and less. We did 3 weeks in a row of discussions, and a lot of it was I think it was pre-pandemic, or maybe it was pandemic at the time, but the prices hadn't gone up. The good news is that we're starting to see prices drop off. But anyway, Defense Dad, tell us about your channel. What do you have to offer, and what is going on, man? What's new in your world?
Oh, not much. I'm back making videos. My channel's more geared for the new gun owner, just so they can learn from mistakes that some of us make along the way. So hopefully save them some money, and once in a while I do some stupid stuff.
That's good. We're men. That's what we're supposed to do. We don't grow up till we're 30, right? That's the explanation that I've heard before. So yeah.
There we go.
All right, so let's see who's joining us over on the YouTube side. We've got Ryan Brown out there, RGK762, tacos and French fries. Apparently, I'm over there. Oh, New York Outcast is over there, and don't worry, Outcast. We'll talk about those fantastic RNLDisplays.com displays. We will let the world know about those. We'll put that email address up there right now for people. Let's see, Slide by 75's out there. Tara Smith's Kitchen is out there. Tara Smith, Yaksimash Dobja. She's got a fantastic channel. Check out Tara Smith's Kitchen. Lots of wonderful different recipes that you can make. Very tasty food, very hearty. Definitely makes life worth living. So check out Tara Smith's Kitchen. William Trader's out there, tacos and French fries. My Kevin Julie's out there. Apparently he's got a package he's sending to me. Now, Kevin, I remember it from our prior discussion, so I am excited. I got something showing up in the mail. We'll do an unboxing when it gets here. Mike is out there. He says, let's get ready to rumble. All right, Sam of Anarchy 92 is there. Mike is out there. Rich White's over there and over here. And who else is out there? X Adam 1's joining in the discussion. Let's see. YNH is watching. Ozzy Orsborn, Mountain View, Tommy Gunn, M. Gabriel was the first person to chime in this morning. Mike's out there also. And I think that's about everyone. Jason Stewart's out there too. All right, so the discussion, before we go to any website or look anything up, what are some of the really good gun purchases that you've made for $350 or less that you can recall? Let's talk maybe within the last couple of years, because back in the day I got this for $199. Not going to happen, right? So what would be something good you bought maybe in the last couple of years that's been a great value, something you could recommend to people? Doesn't matter what the caliber is. We're talking handguns. Okay, so Rich, I'm going to start off with you. Have you picked anything up in the $350 range recently in the last year or two?
I haven't bought anything recently. I really haven't bought anything recently.
And you bought, most of what you bought's been what, $400 to $500? Is that pretty much what we're looking at? Is that about right?
I have firearms from all different kinds of price ranges.
Yeah.
I have 2 different shields. I have the G2C. All 3 of those have been in my carry collection, rotation. But I also have like the HK USP and my Smith & Wesson Model 6.7, which are by no means, how do I want to put this, affordable?
Yeah. Maybe they were at one point, but just not anymore.
Yeah, no, they were never affordable.
There you go. Yeah. There. Let's
Sorry, my 627 is a Pro Series, which is the budget version of the Performance Center, and that thing is still almost $6,000. I mean, yeah, $1,000. Man, I'm confusing. I'm getting my words twisted already. It's too early in the morning. But that I paid $850 for the gun itself, and then another $100 for the grips I have on it. So.
Oh wow. Ooh. So a couple payments of $350 then, right? Yeah.
No, yeah. I paid cash up front.
Gotcha. There you go.
That was when I first got my approval finally after years of trying for my VA benefits, as far as the cash benefit anyway. That was the first thing I went out and bought.
Oh.
No, literally, hey. No joke. I went
There
to
you
the
go. You're
local.
like, I'm going to the gun store.
Yeah, I went to the local LGS and I put in an order for it, and that was the first thing I bought.
Yeah, like a lot of people, that was the experience I had with COVID funds. I can laugh about it now, but I made some good investments with that money. So I'll tell you what, gave Henry a little bit of business, gave Palmetto State Armory a little bit of business. Don't regret
Yeah,
it.
the SIG I was showing you before the show, that came out of COVID funds.
Mm-hmm. So we're all going to pay for it in our taxes, but hey, you know what? It's done. It's over with. We just got to move on with life. So there you go, man. All right. Okay. Single shot. Have you picked up anything $350 and less in the last couple of years at all that you can think of, or not? In terms of handguns?
Oh yeah, I picked up a few. I got my EDC, the M&P 40. I've had that for a little while.
Oh
now.
yeah. I'm starting to see the police trading guns getting back to the $350 range, the 40s and the 9s, and so you can get, and you got a lot of part support. You might have to spend a little bit more, but you won't come near. I don't know what a brand new MP costs, 500 maybe 550. I'm not sure for just a basic MP2 or whatnot. Yeah, or more. Yep.
Yeah, that's what this was a PD trade-in, and it's in good shape. You know, I shot it quite a few times, and I plan on shooting it quite a lot more. So it all depends on how things go here in the future, because I got a few new barrels, new calibers for the Encore and Contender series.
Okay.
So that's growing. Cool. Some of those calibers are Wildcats, so and just a matter of working with them and getting get them set up.
I'm gonna start calling you Mr. Weatherby because you're running calibers that nobody's ever heard of before, but yet there's guns available for it. You know, Weatherby always seems to do stuff like that, but. No, that's good, man. Yeah. A lot of options out there, and I think if you just kind of look around, and again, we're talking 350. When we look at Gunbroker, you might be able to score some decent deals, maybe at gun shows. There might be some, like I'm on MeWe, which is a place where all of us that got booted off Facebook selling guns moved over to, even though we weren't breaking the law on Facebook, we still got booted off. But everybody went over to MeWe, and there's a lot of pistols that show up on there. There's a lot of guns that show up on there. Some of these guys want MSRP or more for a gun that's heavily used or looks beat up, and they don't tend to sell, but sometimes you get some good deals on a pop-up on there and you pick something up. So all right, holy cow, Terry Smith's Kitchen's out there just communicating with me in Czech. You know, if my dad was here, he could probably translate that for me, but unfortunately I cannot. My grandparents were Czech immigrants on the my dad's side. So all right. And then also we've got Defense Dad. What have you purchased? What have you picked up? What have you found? $350 or less. What's out there, man? What's out there? What's
good? That's too long of a list. I just started buying guns 3 years ago. So
let's start at the top. Let's start with the newest one that was $350 or less. God. You were one of those people, one of the few people that I know that bought one of the SAR 9s that was on Gun.Deals, and they were was it $214 after rebate?
It was $219 after rebate, but I will tell you, I'm still waiting on my rebate 2 months later. So as of right now, it's $249. So
rebates are really, man, it just if it's not absolutely perfect when you send it off, like the form, the UPC code, postmarked by a certain date, got to print the form off. It
was an electronic submission, so it was.
Oh, okay. And I've been burned before on PC parts that had rebates. You know, I'd fill them out and send them in. So if you're going to get a rebate, you know, it's going to understand it's not going to come back in the form of cash. You're probably going to get like a generic Visa gift card, which you could use for gas or go buy some more ammo. You're going to get the money back, but it's not like you're going to get a check that you can cash. Generally, it's going to be a gift card.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got that. Oh, sorry.
No, go right ahead. Okay, so you got that SAR. How's that SAR 9 been for you? You finally took it to the range. You did a video on it, right?
Yeah, so far I haven't finished that video, but yeah, so far I mean I've got like 400 rounds through it, and I had one malfunction when it was brand new. You were there. I had one stovepipe, but that was like what 8 rounds into it.
And I shot it. What's the form factor similar to a VP9? Is that right?
The grip handle is a direct copy of a VP9. It's got the 3 different size side straps and back straps. Texturing is not as good as a VP9, but yeah, it's a wonderful gun.
Yeah, and I had a chance to shoot it, and it actually, the build quality seemed on par. I mean, just like the looks, the polymer feel, the finish, it was on par. I'm just going to say it with the Glock or an APX, which, you know, for some people, you know, that that's not saying much, but I'm just saying it does offer, you know, a lot of value. So Okay, so you got that. So the SAR 9, which limited issues with that magazine availability. Can you order them from SAR, or is there a supplier online where you can find a Metgar? Do you know?
Honestly, I haven't looked. Because I didn't want to. When I buy a gun, I don't buy a bunch of extra magazines till I know I'm going to keep it, because I have a tendency to buy them and sell them and get something different.
No. What are you talking about? You don't sell any guns like that one I just bought from you last night. What are you talking about, man? Never. You hold on to all of your guns. That's what we do. So yeah.
You bought another one last night?
Yeah, well, it was such a good deal, I couldn't turn it down. So, we'll talk about my conundrum. We'll talk about my issue here in a little bit. But so Defense Ed, we'll go on. So then you got the SAR 9, and then you've also purchased. You had a G3C, which I broke. Right, you had a G3C, which it wasn't my fault. It was a factory defect. It had an issue with the magazine release, and it had snapped inside the frame, which is the first time I've ever seen that ever happen on a handgun. But you sent it in, and then what did Taurus do on that? Because you're one of the few people that I know that's actually gone through Taurus's return system.
They sent me
a lot of people. Yeah,
they determined it was bad, so they sent me a whole new gun.
Okay. So they did that. What was the total time from the time you sent it off to the time you got it back? You didn't tell them that you had a YouTube channel. You went through the channels like any other customer. How long did it take you to get the gun back?
It took about 6 weeks.
Okay. Because, I heard horror stories when I was doing videos for the PT-111G2. They didn't really have much of a repair facility in the U.S., but since then they've added and expanded their repair facility, so now you can get the guns back quicker. Because I heard horror stories, people like, they've had it for 3 months or 4 months. A lot of it were people that were trading in their old PT-111G1s or whatever they were, the PT-24/7s, because they had a recall on those. And then they traded them in thinking they'd get them back repaired or whatnot. And Taurus was saying, no, we're going to swap it out for PT-111G2. So all this stuff takes weeks. It takes time to get responses from these companies. No excuse for the companies. So 6 weeks later, you got the gun back. So if anybody's ever on the fence, oh man, what is Taurus going to do, right? Okay, so then what else have you purchased? We got the SAR 9, we've got the G3C.
Well, before that, I had a G2C that I sold to get the G3C. Wish I had the G2C back because I liked it better.
I didn't like the trigger as much. I thought it was notchy. If you didn't hold that little trigger safety just flush with the trigger, it would. Maybe you didn't because you're a lefty, but for me, if you pulled it off to the right a little bit, it would click and catch, giving you the sense that you're about to break the wall on the trigger, and it wasn't. It was a false wall.
I took my qualification with it for my PHP. I had, 4,000 or 5,000 rounds through that thing when I pulled it with no malfunctions whatsoever. Then I had my first gun was a Ruger SR9, bought brand new for like $320.
Yeah, those have gone up now to what, 400, 500 in SR, because they're not in production anymore. So whenever a gun goes out of production, you're just going to naturally start to see the prices go up online. Now, I can't speak on the private sale arena or at gun shows, but that is kind of what I've noticed happens. You'll find it, and it's not going to be as low as the lowest price you've ever seen it ever. Once it's done being made, or if it's really hard to find.
That depends on, like, the quality of it. Like, why it went out. If it was upgraded because the gun was mediocre, it's going to fall in price. But if it was liked and replaced, kind of like a Gen 1, Gen 2, whatever, then yeah, it will go up.
Well, think about the Ruger P-Series pistols. They're now starting to push 400, 450, costing as much as they were when they were new 20 years ago. And I mean, the P-Series Rugers, there were times you could pick them up for $275, $300 at a gun show. It's like, but I mean, they're the fact that they've been so reliable, there's still a good parts availability for them. They're built like tanks. They're kind of popular because it was the first pistol that a lot of guys owned 20 years ago. Now they're in their 40s and they want that gun back. So that's what happens with a lot of these guns.
You also have to think in that it wasn't a bad gun. There is a generational jump in how firearms are designed.
Yeah.
And components.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So Defense Dad, what's the next one on the list? Okay. So we had the SAR 9, the G3C, and then what did you say after that? What was the next one?
See that there was the SR9 and then Beretta APX.
Okay.
I wasn't a fan of that one.
And that was the reason why, is because it shot low or to the left, or what was the thing, or what was it, just because of the sights or what? Okay.
Honestly, it was a great gun. I just didn't drive with it.
Okay. And again, it's a little chunky and clunky, but the one that I tested and the one that I cleaned and got a chance to shoot it. Man, I'll tell you what, they're for the money, for if you can get one for $350, which they're up here on Gunbroker for $350. they're fantastic. You got readily available magazines at your gun stores, full-size APX. They come in 3 different frame sizes or 4 different frame sizes. I believe somebody mentioned earlier in the comments that those APXs have a removable grip module. So if you want to make it into a compact, you can. Or if you want to make it into a mid-size, like if you can carry over your slide and barrel, carry it over to a smaller frame, you can with just the addition of a different magazine or mag with a spacer. So yeah, there's a lot of options out there. Those of you that are throwing out all those examples out there on YouTube, we'll talk about those in a little bit. Yeah, there's SAR V6, Stoger, the Stoger STR9. We'll talk about the Stoger here in a little bit.
Yeah, I just basically have a tendency to buy guns when I see a really good deal on it, and then I'm like, I didn't really need that, so I'll trade it or sell it to get something else. And
funny thing is, when I was working with SS Pawn, I talked to Stan, and he would big chunk of the 3/4 of the guns he would carry would be 350 or below because they sold. It's like 350 is a manageable amount of money. The good thing is for the buyer, there's a ton of variety out there, so you just want to do your research. And so you can get some really decent firearms for $350 or below, believe it or not. Okay, then Defense had anything else, or is that it?
I mean,
there's been some rifles and stuff like that.
Yeah, if you're gonna get into rifles, yeah. But yeah, then I graduated to more expensive stuff.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of other than what I just bought from you last night. Firearms wise, I'm going up the ladder myself in terms of optics and rifles and what I'm investing in. I'm getting old now, so I'm like, I want the good stuff, So
well, and at one point I really wanted a Canic, but then I actually owned the Walther version of it, so I thought that was kind of pointless. So
yeah, and then I have to go through what I picked up. Also, I got a pretty good deal on my Canic.
So I prefer the Canic version over the Walter version.
Why is that?
Just something with the grip and how it feels in my hand. It's
okay.
The dimensions aren't off all that much, but where they are off, they fit.
Okay.
See, and I was the opposite because my first Walther was it's one of my carry guns. It's the PPQ subcompact, and I shot that side by side with Travis's, and mine felt better in my hand. The trigger felt better.
TP9SC, which mine had a notch cut out of the back of it. When you'd use a larger magazine, the magazine butt plate would not extend over to fill that notch. So I ended up buying a spacer that would fit in there that would actually fill that space. You took your old spacer off the other mag and put the new one on, and it gave you a full grip. Which Foos, I think I had it with me last summer. I think I brought it down with me, and you guys played around with it. We did shoot it. Yeah. My Elite SC, the compact. Yeah. So for $350, a great gun. Came with a ton of accessories, 2 magazines. I think it was like maybe 15 and 17 round mags. I mean, it really offered a good capacity. The only reason why I went ahead and sold it was because it was just a bit chunky to carry, which is a stupid reason to get rid of it. I should have kept it as a bedside gun, but still, I liked it. I just didn't love it. Trigger was fantastic. Build quality was fantastic. You can rip on Canic all day, but I'll tell you what, man, fit and finish was great. Polymer was nice and sturdy on it. It didn't feel cheap. So, Foos, what about you? Have you picked up anything in the last couple of years, $350 or less? Not kind of like a trade value, but like a straight up purchase?
So the only thing I've bought was surplus guns. This was probably about 4-ish years ago, whenever the CZ75s from Israel came in. I picked one of those up for $300.
Oh, that was actually one of the second handgun I ever bought was a CZ75 back in 1998, 99. I think I bought it from J&G Sales, paid like $225 for it, maybe $275 back in the day, which is like $450 now, but still.
So I got that one, couple star model BMs, the Makarov. Your Makarov.
Oh yeah, thanks, man. Then, I forgot about my Makarov. Yeah,
I had it's a little 380, but not a 380. It's a 32, but Tokarev. Zestia M70.
Okay.
Like all my stuff that's been under 380 or 350 has been surplus guns. I don't except for the Ruger Wrangler, the 22 revolver that looks like a cowboy gun.
Yeah,
that was under 300.
Pre-pandemic, pre-spring of 2020, there was a ton of surplus guns that were out there that you could pick up. We had Makarovs that were 350 or below. We had what help remind me of Tokarevs you could get in various flavors and different types and whatever.
Star model BMs.
Star BMs, the Beretta 92s, the 1952 Beretta, whatever those are, those 50s Beretta 92s.
Beretta 82s. You had
the Beretta BBs, also like the 84s.
Yeah.
These were all below. I mean, we had mentioned this before years ago. We were telling people, hey, there's, you know, this is the Renaissance period for pistols and stuff. You need to buy this stuff now while it's cheap, you know.
CZ Model 82s were under $350.
Yeah.
And now like CZ, those are, I don't know how much. Let's go to Gunbroker. 82.
And everybody out there making comments on the YouTube side, we're going to go through a lot of them because you guys are throwing a lot of great information out there for people that are watching right now. But we're going to let Squib have his intro too. So we'll get Squib here in a minute. So Squib, drink up your coffee. All right. Hey, Foos, we'll come right back to you, okay? So Squib, we're going to let you chime in for a little bit. Have you picked up anything handgun-wise in the last couple of years, $350 or below?
Foos already answered it. It'd be
No, sir.
Milsurps.
Do you buy your Tokarev that I got to shoot for $350 or less?
Yeah, I think I've paid under $350 for every Tokarev we've got here. But just like everything else, not long after I bought it, it went out of stock and it went up in price.
Do you have one in 9mm?
Yes.
Okay, I've never shot that one. I wish I would have bought one of those just because after shooting yours, they are incredibly, I mean, you look at it, you're like, oh, it's got the ergonomics of a Lego gun. But my God, it is actually a very smooth shooting pistol. And yours was the 762 by 25. Is that right?
Yes.
The one that I got to shoot? Yeah, that was an awesome. I really wanted to get one after shooting, and I was like, oh, this is great. You know, we had a few variants that were brought in without the mechanical safeties, but with the trigger safeties. But then you could buy replacement triggers for them, so you could have it in its original configuration with no safety and no trigger safety, and I believe 9mm, if I'm not mistaken. That was one of the ones that I really wish that I would have picked up. So.
Ditto. And
Bruce, did you find that information you're looking for? Yeah.
No, I couldn't find a CZ Model 83.
Okay.
CZ.
Yeah. God, as for me, what all have I picked up here? So I did get the Canon TP9 SC. They were asking $359 for it at Shields, and when I bought it, I actually opened up a Shields card, and so I got $50 off that. And then I traded in my EC9S, which had been my daily carry for about 3 years, and that had a ton of rounds through it, and I loved it, but it was a little limited on capacity, and I just saw so much more value in the Canon Elite compact. So I went ahead and traded that. I ended up getting that compact for like $27. I think I just paid the sales tax on it when it was all said and done. After I traded in and had my gift card and stuff, because I traded it in mid-pandemic when they were paying lots of money for used guns at Shields because they were running out of guns in the cases. So they were paying a really decent value. So again, let's see what else we got.
So
just to kind of, yeah, go ahead.
The M70s, you could still get them for $350.
Okay. And if you don't have one, I mean, if you want one, get one, because as we've seen, surplus prices slowly start to creep up. It's happened with Mosins. It's happened with any of those Zastava pistol CZs. Their Star BMs are now $300 when they were $179 at one point, if you didn't mind tinkering with them a little bit.
So back in the day, whenever Mosins and all this stuff were $79.
7 or 8. Well, okay. Mine was $127 about 7 years ago. So let's just say 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
They're like, you know, sub $100, and now they're going for $300, $400, $500. That's what these pistols are. I mean, just think of the Nagant revolver. Not too long ago.
Oh, they were $99. I remember them being $99, and I've only been doing gun videos for 7 years.
Oh, damn revolver! I forgot. Sorry.
Yeah, Nagant revolver. Yeah, revolvers. We got those too. Yeah. There's a ton of them out there. Yeah. Oh man. So yeah, lots and lots of options. And then just to spoil it or anything, I did end up purchasing Taurus G3C, which I got from Defense Dad. Now Taurus does have a $25 mail-in rebate right now, but the problem I had is by the time I paid a transfer and paid sales tax and wanted to buy additional mags, if I wanted to get a couple additional mags, the rebate was just kind of like, meh. If you don't have one, it's a really good deal. Now, there was a time where you could get the PT111 G2s for like $150 after rebate. I paid like $179 for mine after rebate because it was an FDE model. It was a little more expensive, and it was hard to find. It was like they actually only made that particular shade of FDE for a short period of time. And so that was one that was a fantastic deal. When they had them under $200, it was just amazing at that point. On Defense Side, you're gonna have to help me out here. I've had so many different guns. I'm the kind of person that will sell and then upgrade. That's typically what I tend to do. My Makarov, I did trade a 300 Blackout Bear Creek Arsenal pistol, which had a Anderson lower that I built, which was valued around 350, I suppose, total. I paid 150 for the upper. Actually, another one of our viewers out there traded with me. We went through the FFL dealership and did an interstate trade, and I got his Baikal Makarov, which was a 90s production Makarov for just a straight up trade, even trade. And the only thing I've done with it is I bought a new mag from Apex Gun Parts. So Makarovs are really nice. Sights a little hard to use on the Makarov. Makarov ammo is about $18 a box in my neck of the woods if you want Tula, or if you can find some pretty partisan. Great 9x18 handgun ammo. There is defensive grade Makarov ammo you can buy from Critical Defense. Pick up a Makarov. They're great to shoot. I've hot mine up a little bit with some new springs, different sights. I ended up putting I put the Fab Defensive pistol grip on it, which gives you a thumb magazine release, which is sweet. I love it.
Makarovs are snappy because they are a true blowback.
Yeah. Now I'm going to say this though: when you add that Fab Defense grip on it, it gives you a nice beaver tail and it gives you a thicker grip. It totally changes the character of the pistol.
Okay.
It's so much more easier to shoot, much more accurate, much more comfortable. Really controls that recoil. And that grip is about $50, I think, delivered, but it was worth it. It just have a thumb release was definitely.
If you like the round, CZ Model 82, in my opinion, is a better shooting gun. It's not much thicker because it is generationally metallurgy and all that stuff is generationally different. It's not much thicker. You get more rounds, and it's more of a traditional double, single action, double action, safety on. Like everything is basically a CZ75 just shrink. So it's a traditional hammer fired DASA gun.
Okay.
That is smoking in that round.
Entry level CZ new P10Cs. P10s are what, 400, 450? You can't. Yeah, so you're not going to really be able to get in on something unless maybe you trade in or find a used one. You might be able to get a P10 for 350 if you find one used. But it's hard enough to find CZs in gun stores. I mean, luckily Shields has a nice little display of them, a good selection. But a lot of places you just don't ever see a CZ unless they have a random one pop up. So,
and then if you see it on the secondary market, they're going to want as much as new because they are a popular handgun.
Yeah. Unless you get lucky like me and score shoutouts you for 500 below or 400 below MSRP, but that was a unicorn find, man. That was a 1 in a million find. So, man, you guys on the private chat, I can't keep up with everybody over there. Holy crap!
And then have buddies send you upgrade parts.
Exactly. So Foos, thank you for doing that. Spoiler alert on the Shadow 2 video you guys are going to be seeing. Foos out there sent me some Cajun Gunworks springs and a nice set of lock grips to put on it. So it's already been tuned. I took it to the range yesterday. I froze my butt off filming a video for it, but I had fun, man. It totally changed the character of the pistol. It was awesome.
It shoots smoother.
Yep. And again, what I did was the 11-pound Cajun Gunworks recoil spring. I know we're not talking $350 guns right now, but if you get a Shadow 2, try the 11-pound recoil spring and a 13-pound hammer spring. No issues with primer detonation at all. Tightened up the groups. The ball ammo improvement was unreal. What I pulled off on ball ammo is I don't think I've ever shot that good before. My PDP, I shoot it really well, but this was sub half inch at 7 yards, 10 yards. So it was amazingly tight. Yeah.
So think about this. I know we're going off a tangent. Shadow 2 orange. You know how your group went from normal
firearm, inch and a half down to an inch or below. Yeah.
Well, think of if you get a Shadow 2 orange, or if you have time to shoot a Shadow 2 orange, you're going to see that same amount of increase going to the Shadow 2 orange.
And this is on $20 worth of parts, not counting the lock grips, right?
No. This is, you're talking about a $2,000 gun. It's all new gun.
Yeah. Yes.
But
just
the different levels of
just the precision that goes into it, and then the attention to detail, the fitting, it's like basically a hand built, gunsmith gun essentially. The way that it's put together, match grade essentially. So, real quick, I forgot to mention it here. We do have RNLDisplays.com. They're not a channel sponsor yet, but you guys need to head over to RNLDisplays.com and pick up your AR-15 display stand. They also have one that's compatible with Glock mags, and they've got some pistol stands. They come in a variety of finishes for you. American-owned, veteran-owned company. So get on over to RNLDisplays.com. The refined way to display your AR-15. Think of it as fine furniture for your AR-15. So make sure you guys head over there and show a little bit of love over there for Rob D, right? AKA New York Outcast. All right, so back to the discussion here. I need to get to the comments because there's a lot of stuff showing up here. Let's see. Bob Adel, is that right? Adel says, so your voice sounds like Joe Rogan. I've been told I sound like, no, the guy sounds like me, the main dude from Guardians of the Galaxy and Jurassic Park. Help me out here.
I think you might have been talking about Foose. You're talking about Chris Pratt.
Oh, okay.
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt. Yeah, people say that Chris Pratt sounds like me. I'm going to say he sounds like me because I'm older than him. So I've been around, the Travi's been around longer than Chris Pratt. So they can say, you sound like Chris Pratt. No, he sounds like me. Dude, totally cool dude. But anyway, what else do we have here? So Kevin Jung says, my Shadow 2 is my favorite pistol that I own. Love my palm swell lock grips. Yeah, that's what I really enjoyed about that is it's not so slab-sided. It just fills the palm. So you just have a better purchase on the gun overall. Very comfortable. And let's see, Gizzard Gary says, I'm kind of a sucker for good old used all-metal pistols from the past. I love the feel. Yeah, the Smith & Wesson Highway Patrol trade-in guns, those might have been about a $350 gun 5 years ago when they were starting to show up on some of the different websites. A lot of the trade-in, pre-pandemic, a lot of the trade-in police pistols, I was seeing a lot of 40 cal Glocks that were going for $350 or $299. M&P trade-ins for $350 or below, $279, $249 on some of those. So there were some really, really good deals out there.
You could still get Tokarevs sub 300 or sub 350.
Oh wow!
There is a Chinese Type 54 for serial number 349, where you aim surplus ammunition. I mean, it's aim surplus.
AIM Surplus has got really good deals on used guns. Yeah, they have a lot of trade-in specials too. So AIM Surplus is a good place to check J&G sales. On those, is that the mechanical safety modified versions? Or is it the trigger safety? I think the trigger safety is only showed up on the 9mm.
It's on trigger.
Oh, is that 9mm or 762 by 25?
762.
Oh, wow. Okay, and you can still, if you look around, and I'm sure now there's probably companies that make aftermarket triggers for the Tokarevs. You don't have to go with these specific, whatever company made it, Zasov or Norinco or whatnot, trigger pack. You can get aftermarket triggers for it that don't have that trigger safety on it. So you can have it in its original configuration, which I would love to try.
There's a dong on it.
That one does, but you can get replacements that don't have it. You can get the original factory trigger that doesn't have that because of the import rules. So
yeah, I had my Zavstia one. They actually made it from the factory with the slide safety. So.
Oh yeah. Because I think they had to get that way to import them, and then they were able to kind of stop doing that by doing the trigger safety instead for 922R.
Yeah,
for import regulations.
The kind I have, it was actually just 9mm. It was made for came off production line like that for their military.
Okay.
With the slide safety. Or a hammer block safety.
Oh man! All right, we got to get back to the comments here real quick.
Sorry.
No, it's all good because there's a lot of stuff coming in. Gizzard Gary said, "I love my Star BM. I think I paid $230." Yeah, we missed that one. What is it? Kevin June says he's moving to Texas. Kevin, can you give us an idea what area you're going to be moving to? I get down there a couple times a year. I've got friends and family down there, so if you're around the area, we'll look up and get a cup of coffee. Maybe go do some shooting. I'm aware of a couple of good ranges down in the Dallas area, so if you want to do some shooting, we can do that. X Adam 1 says, I bought my Star BM for $179, wanted to buy another one a few weeks later, and they were up to $259 at that time. Okay, so Mike says, the issues I've had with my Sky, I never had any issues getting fixed. Plus, I'm close enough where I can just bring it in there and get it repaired. Yeah, so if you're close to Cocoa, Florida, you're close to Sky's headquarters. I had three. I bought three Skies over the course of a couple of years. One was a daily carry that I kept for several years. Needed basically a complete rebuild by the time it hit less than 1,000 rounds down the pipe. Okay. Just say it's a $200 gun. What do you expect? But if we're trying to train with what we carry, you would hope your gun would hold up well so that it's ready to go. Mine had trouble, so I can't recommend Sky Firearms. I know they get shown off all the time on YouTube, and guys put 1,000 rounds through with no issues. So the ones I bought all had problems with frame pins. I had issues with feeding. I wore out the extractor on mine within 1,000 rounds, and I ended up having to send me a replacement slide and barrel. Go ahead, Foose.
So my issue is if it's a polymer gun and it's under that 300 range, I don't even go for it because that's well, I mean, because the machines to make the polymer, to them be able to get down there, they have to skimp on something. And
now it depends because we got PT 111 G2s in our family that have had countless rounds put down the pipe with no problems. They haven't had to go in for repairs and stuff. It kind of depends on the manufacturer and
Well,
if they've got their issues worked out. I think, you know.
Again, that's to scale. Taurus makes enough to where if they make $5 off of a gun, they'll be able to make it just because of scale. But Sky,
I'm disappointed that they haven't. I know they've released some new models, like they've got the DXG1 or DVG1, whatever they call it, the new trigger in it. And I watched Gunsnob's video on it. He was showing it off. And I mean, I'd like to try one to see if they've improved because I want to promote an American-owned company. But the fact that I'm still getting comments today with people telling me they have magazine issues, they have frame issues, they broke the trigger, like the trigger spring snapped. It's like, come on, man, it's been like 6 years. We can't get this stuff taken care of. I understand the company's able to make enough money, they can absorb the criticism and absorb the repairs because they're making enough money. But the fact they haven't engineered it better kind of bothers me. Although I will say this, when I did get my replacement slide and barrel from Sky, they did slightly change the feed ramps on the barrel. It looked a little bit different. So I think it was a different angle, maybe to encourage better feeding. I don't know. Because mine never really had issues with feeding until it started to fall apart. So
you also have to think a lot of these companies, they know their firearms are going to be, maybe a box for the entire life.
Yeah. But I mean, when they boast the quality and they boast the engineering and they boast the warranty, it's like, oh man, this is gonna be great. $200 gun, heck yeah. And then you go to the range and I have problems after 80 rounds, but everybody on YouTube could put thousands of rounds down the pipe with no problem. So you get one just before one. It's the same thing with like my high point was fine until I took it apart to clean it and I broke it. So yeah, believe it or not, I actually broke something in a cleaning video.
Well, I hate to say it, I think there's a lot of people on YouTube that say they put thousands of rounds through every gun. They may
I'd love to know. I mean, now they have the time and money on their videos to put 5,000. I mean, there are some channels I can believe they do it because all they do is shoot, and it takes some years to do those accumulative rounds. But like at $350 a case, are you going to put $1,000 worth of ammo through a $200 gun? I don't know. You did 5,000 rounds. I'm not doubting people can shoot 2 or 3 or 4 or 500 rounds a week because people do. But it's like, okay, all right, let's be realistic here.
So there's something that in the shooting sports that is said is no matter how much your gun is cost to you, that's always the cheap part.
Yeah.
No matter if it's a $350 gun or a $12,000 gun. That's the cheap part. And
now,
yes,
especially.
I know people. Yeah. I know a guy. He has, this is of course race guns, but he has 2 $12,000 pistols that he shoots and competes with, and that's still the cheap part.
Oh, you can drop whatever you want to in your firearms. I mean, you can spend, yeah. Oh yeah. And I mean, I've seen competition grade pistols that are $4,000 or $5,000, right, or $3,000-$4,000 just for the base pistol itself, and then you start from there, and then you go into your modifications, your barrel modifications, your what kind of cuts you have to have done to the slide if it's not armor already. I mean, it's never ending, dude.
And then in the internal, they were talking about an EAA Windcatter 3.
The Windcatter 357. Yep.
Well, the EAA, to remind me of, you could have these knockoff guns, like a Canik is a knockoff of Walther. You have EAA, which is knockoff of CZ. Like you could have these not knockoff clones that usually are a cheaper version of a
either like a Beretta or like a SW, a Walther P99. I think was the origin, was kind of the basis for the original Canik TP9. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, Tactical FUD says the Canik TP9 comes with everything you need to start carrying. Yeah, I've seen TP9 SFs for below $350. Now we're not talking transfer fees, we're not talking shipping, we're not talking tax, because everybody's situation is different. There's companies that I found that still don't charge sales tax on firearms online when you buy them. They don't do that. So like I think familyfirearms.com is one of the companies I've gone through that does not charge internet sales tax outside of their home state. So, you could get it and not pay. You might say, yeah, but after tax and shipping and transfer, yada, yada, yada. But you might find that same gun locally and all you got to pay is sales tax. So that's why we're just saying $350 for the cost of the gun, because everybody's purchasing situation is going to be different. Bob Adel says, the first gun I ever bought was a Ruger EC9S for $199. Hey, you beat me. I paid $220 for mine. And your video helped me learn to clean it. So now 10 guns later, I still have it. Thank you. Hey, man, you're welcome. You're welcome. My EC9S was great. There have been people that have complained about him, especially with the extended magazines. that Ruger sells for it. I never had any issues with mine. I shot mine a lot in videos, and it was good. I love the trigger on the EC9S because it's the same one as the LC9 or LC9S or whatnot. It's the same trigger that's also in the Ruger Security 9. Very nice. What else do we have here? So YNH says, I picked up a TX22 for $300 last year. Yeah, TX22, fantastic semi-auto. When we go over to Gunbroker and see what's for sale for $350, you're going to be surprised with just the variety that's out there.
Yeah, I got one of those TX22s for my daughter. She really likes it.
Yeah, we have one in the family. We've got several family members that have them. I've got a couple. We have a couple on my mom's side also that bought the TX22s. They shoot them out in the backyard at my aunt's place all the time. So great little guns. I mean, sometimes the magazines can be kind of finicky, but they're fun to shoot and 15 round capacity, readily available mags, solid feel. It's heavy, so it's light recoil. I mean, it really is a good little 22. Tara Smith's Kitchen says, my sister bought a Canic. I would have bought it instead of my Glock if I knew about it, but I needed a Glock for GSSF. Anyway, let's see. X Adam 1 says, High Point is no one's favorite. I'm not going to say what you're saying out there. Jeez. Yeah. Like I said, the High Point 45 that I bought one for my dad and bought one for myself. I gave my dad one for Father's Day just so we could have some father-son pistols to play around with. I bought them a long time ago when I was first getting started with working, so I didn't have a lot of extra money. But they were like $125 for the 45. So we had a lot of fun with those. Here, Calcast says, skies are the only gifts for people you don't like. So, well, I will say this. After I got the new slide and barrel, my Sky CPX2 was fine. I did 200 rounds with it. No problems whatsoever. And then I ended up actually legally transferring it to a friend so he'd have a gun. It's like, look, it will shoot. Just don't put any more rounds through it, okay? So I told him, I said, we're going to go 50 rounds. We'll take it to the range. We're going to clean it, and that's it. You're only going to use it if you need it. It will shoot, but if you start to add up a round count, I can't guarantee it's going to fire. It was well broken in by that point, but broken by that point. But he has since actually bought my other G17 Gen 4 that I moved off to him about a month ago. So yeah, and his wife bought the first one that I bought, the first G17 that I had also. Fluffy 10mm Jeep guy says, I just picked up the Canic Rival. Yeah, Sky does have a great warranty, but it doesn't matter if your gun doesn't work. And they do a quick turnaround. They do have good customer service. I even did a video where I put the customer service on the phone and did a video where I talked to them, and they were great about addressing my issues. They sent me a couple magazines because I thought I was having magazine problems. It seems like I had one that would work and two that wouldn't, but it was actually just the gun itself, no matter what ammo I ran through it. Ryan Brown says the Sky DVG-1. Okay, so what I know about the DVG-1, I believe it's optics ready. It does have a flat trigger. It does have a different trigger, and it may be striker fired instead of hammer fired, if I'm not mistaken, because the CPX2 is hammer fired. I know that when I watched Gunstomp's video on it, he said the trigger was better than the original CPX2, but still just okay. It still was super long. It was just kind of a different trigger and a slightly different mechanism on it. Let's see, what else do we have here? Stoeger STR9. Okay, let's talk about that. I like Stoeger. I own and have owned Stoeger Firearms. They are an American-based company. Their guns are either made in Brazil or Turkey. The firearms I've seen from Stoeger. STR9. Okay, it looks very much like the Smith & Wesson SD9 VE, but they're cheaper. I think you can get an STR9 for $299. The problem with it is I was watching, and this might just be a one-off, I was watching Honest Outlaw review on the STR9. 400 rounds later, the trigger broke. He was shooting it and shooting it and shooting it. 400 rounds later, the trigger broke. He called up Stoeger. He still hasn't heard back from him. He put in a claim for a repair. Hasn't heard from him. Hasn't said that he's a big YouTuber. Didn't say anything to them. And I don't believe he's ever gotten any kind of response from Stoeger. So Stoeger, you are letting your customers down with your shoddy customer service. And unless I hear about some improvements, I can't recommend you, which is sad because I like the STR9. They have many different versions of it. They have a compact, an RMR-ready version. They offer a great value. I like the fact it's an American company. But if you won't even reply to a person's call or email them back, I really have trouble recommending your gun to somebody else. I'm just going to say that right now. So, of course, with PSA, it would take me, during the height of the pandemic, it took a month for me to get a reply back when they misshipped one of my orders. So, I mean, every time I'd reply back, it took another 4 weeks. So 12 weeks later, I finally got what I was missing, but I got it. Okay. Let's see here. Tara Smith, says she's at home right now. You guys have that Texas ice storm going on. That is not good. Let's see here. Just make sure I'm not missing anything here. There were some really good rebates. There's a few that are out there now. There's rebates on the Heritage Rough Rider right now. I think $25 off, if I'm not mistaken. $25 off the Taurus. And I got a feeling maybe they're moving out these G3Cs because they're going to start moving them in without mechanical safeties, which they have on the new Taurus G3X, if I'm not mistaken, if that's what it's called. So again, apologize for being so chatty. I'm just trying to catch up on all the messages here. Now, Christian Gress says, I remember when the Shield Gen 1 could be had for under $300 on sale. Most are closer to $400 to start now. If you go over to Gunbroker and filter by price, $350, buy it now, you can find used and new shields for $350, or $329. I even saw some M2.0s out there for $350. That was what inspired me to want to do today's episode. So do you guys have anything to say before we go check out what's for sale online, or you guys ready to do it?
Go ahead, Foos.
I just bought a rifle for a model number of 600 shipped.
Okay.
Straight to my place at Schmidt-Rubin.
Oh, the Schmidt-Rubin, yeah, which those were $300 guns about 5 years ago. The straight pulls, yeah.
1889.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Straight to my house. No FFL because it's antique.
I was just.
Oh, do you have a CNR on that?
No.
You don't even have to. It's just
1889, and it's old enough. Yeah.
That's cool, man. That's cool.
From a classic.
Okay.
So now I gotta figure out how to make ammo for it.
Oh yeah, there you go. Start going into the.
Yeah. But,
might be able to source some kind of brass that you can modify to make it run. So
you could trim down like the GP11 brass, Swiss brass. You can trim that down a little bit.
Okay. One gun I want to talk about real quick is I've owned two. Okay, SD9 VE. I had one, loved it, sold it, ended up buying my PT111 G2 with money from that. But okay, with that SD9 VE out of the box, it had failure to return to battery issues because they use a very flexible, flimsy recoil spring and plastic guide rod with it. So as it would heat up, the gun would start to malfunction and wouldn't go back into battery. That was weird. I was shooting it out in hot weather. So I ended up buying the, oh God, what was it? Galloway, what was it? And it wasn't the Lakeline. It was the Galloway recoil spring and stainless steel guide rod. Put that in it, ran like a champ. So I got a second one that had the same problem. So then after that, I went over and bought NVG or NGZ Performance stainless steel guide rod and spring combo. I did a video on this. I bought it over on eBay because it was like $20, whereas the Galloway ones at that point were sold out. After that, the SD9 VE ran like a champ. But again, you're looking at dropping another $30 or $40 into it. But the one problem the SD9 VE had with me, and this was the same problem that Roll Call 219 had, was failure to lock open upon empty. On the SD9 VE, and I never modified the mags, but if you had any kind of downward pressure on the base plate for the magazine, when you fired, it would not lock open upon empty. Some guys don't care about that, but to me, that was kind of a big deal, especially if you're using it in a defensive situation, which that gun is marketed as an inexpensive self-defense pistol. Trigger, okay, you can get used to it, but now those SD9 VEs are $350, $379, whereas they were as low as $279 at that point. So, okay, X Adam 1 says NDZ Performance. Yeah, that's a company. They sell great parts. They do sell really good parts. And if you don't mind dropping another $20 in your SD9, it will run better with that guide rod. Go ahead, Rich.
I was gonna say, if you're paying that price for an SD, good Lord, just look for a used police trade M&P and you get a better gun.
Absolutely. I mean, you could afford to even replace the recoil spring for less price, for less money, you know. I mean, some of those trade-ins can be rough and you don't know what you're going to get if you don't see it in person, but you're still going to get, in my opinion, a better value buying a used M&P versus the SD9V. Yeah, the SD9Vs are pushing $400 now. They've gone up $100 since the pandemic has taken off. So
part of what I was going to say real quick too is to reiterate, don't, like what Rich just partly said, is don't discount the used rack at your store.
Oh, yeah.
I'm holding in my hand, I'm not going to show it, but I'm holding in my hand what is hands down the best trigger I own, and I have $1,000 guns. I got it used. It's a little stretch. I got it for $375, but it's a Walther PPQ 45, so it's a PPQ to 45 ACP, and it hands down has better trigger than any of my other Walthers, my HK, all that stuff. So keep an eye on that stuff.
Yeah, the Shadow 2 that I bought, when I took it apart and looked at it in the store, it looked like it had never been fired before. It was completely immaculate. There was no hammer marks. There was no marks on the barrel. It was a 2018 model. I think somebody bought it and never shot it. It literally looked brand new. And I got that one for $1,000, whereas the cheapest Shadow 2 they had in stock was the Urban Gray model for $11.99. Shield's MSRP on the Shadow 2 is $13.99. So if you check the use case, I mean, I saved $400 versus buying one brand new. And that would also include having to pay shipping and transfer fees and tax and all that stuff. So I actually did really well. I mean, it's a lot of money to drop on it, but I've wanted a Shadow 2 for a while now. And the fact that I found such a good price on it. Yeah. Okay. X Adam 1 says so many used guns are rarely shot. And tons of used guns are showing up because everybody that was panicking during the height of the protests, they're now like, well, you know, it's summertime. My kid needs money for club volleyball. I'm going to go sell this gun back. Or, oh, my kid needs, you know, spring clothes. I'm going to go trade this gun in and get some money back or get some credit. So I'm seeing the use cases really start to stack up with some really lightly used firearms. A lot of shields, a lot of Springfields for what it's worth if you're an XD fan. Kimbers are showing up left and right. I mean, people are buying whatever they could get their hands on at one point. And that's all coming back now. We predicted this years ago. We said, I wouldn't be surprised if those started showing up here in a couple of years. And sure enough, they are.
Yeah, the crazy thing that my USP, I bought that used, HK USP. It's a 1994 dated gun. I got it mid-2000s. That thing didn't look like it was ever shot. It looks like somebody bought it and it was a safe queen. Just sat in their safe the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, they had a USP 9 up there. I was almost on the fence about buying it. It looked amazing. They wanted $699 for it because brand new they're $1,000 for a USP 9 if I'm not mistaken. You know, you can find deals all over the place, but I saw that I was like, God, do I want to get that or do I want to get the Shadow 2? And the Shadow 2 had been there since before Christmas. I thought if I don't get the Shadow 2, somebody else is gonna snag it because it just sits there. You know.
Well, Rich, that's because HKs are so good. You can shoot 4,000 rounds, so it'll look like brand new. I'm just saying.
No, this thing didn't have
Not
any
that I'm
wear on.
biased.
This thing had no wear on it whatsoever. It looks like they bought it, threw it in the safe or whatever, and just left it.
Oh, dang. Scott79's out there. He says, I picked up my Rock Island 2011 and 10 millimeter for $799. MSRP is like $13.50. Yeah, let's hope we can get down to some of those prices. So what we're going to do now, you guys are free to talk at any point here, but I'm going to go ahead and share the screen. I'm going to show you what I did. If you want to find some good deals, you know, we got a lot of people out there that are first-time gun owners that are watching this video. Believe it or not, I do have people that ask questions, you know, what do you recommend for a first pistol, or what's good for planking, or what's a good home defense pistol? What do you recommend? First of all, go to your mom and pops, see what's for sale. You could still negotiate for some good deals at some of those mom and pop stores. You know, obviously support them. You might find something good. In the use case, you can negotiate on with some cash. And then after that, start to look online. And again, a lot of those mom and pops make money off FFL transfers anyway. So, you know, think about going that route. So can you guys see this okay? You guys good to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what we have I went over to Gunbroker. I did buy it now, $0 to $350. I took all for item condition because I don't care if it's new or used. And look at the variety. Look what you got here on the revolver end. You've got the Heritage Barkeep. You've also got the Diamondback Sidekick, which is $350 or below, which is that higher capacity 22/22 Magnum revolver you can buy now, single action, double action. We've got Heritage Rough Riders for $120. So just showing off the variety. This is what's out there. You got the Burst of Thunder. Again, the Skies are out there, which that's very high for CPX2. Here's a SAR B6C, which is based off of, who's helped me out here? Way back in the day are the SAR series and the EA Witnesses loosely based off the CZ75.
They're clones, yeah.
Clones. Okay, and so this SAR B6C is also very similar to the EA Witness P or Witness Compact that I owned back in the late 90s. So, and it was a great gun, hammer fired, single action, double action. Magazine should not be an issue. Buy it now for $329. Okay. Bond Arms is nice, but they do have a long trigger. Like they've got a long. If you have small hands, you may not be able to reach the trigger. That was an issue that we ran into with our family when we bought a Lady Bond. She could not reach the trigger. What else we got out there? Here's a Rock Island Armory M200 revolver, 38 special, $315. Might need a little quick trigger job, might need some cleanup, but that's not a bad deal.
Yeah, real quick, Travis. For anybody wants more information on the SARs, go over to Obnoxious One's channel. He's got a few videos on them. He has a few of them.
Yeah, there's a lot between him and Ghost Tactical, and I don't know. Yeah, and then also Clover Tac. Clover's has done some SAR videos also on some of their firearms, or T-Sauce. You know, you start to kind of get some carryover in some of these brands. There's a lot of frames for sale if you want to do a project gun. There's some G19 frames, G17 frames. If you've got a slide and a barrel sitting around, you know, you're going to pay a little more, but it's still going to be cheaper. Like here's a Gen 5 G17 complete frame for $299. You know, you could probably get that set up for less than the price of a new G17. And this is a new frame, by the way. This is high for Ruger Wrangler. You should be able to get those for $200. So look locally. Let's see. High Points, yeah, that's ridiculous. Nobody's going to pay $239 for High Point. That's stupid.
What?
Yeah, $239 buy it now, and I'm starting to see them go back down in price to $140 or below. So, Ruger Security 9 for $329. Kingpin has one of those. He really likes it. It feels like a G19 in your hands, but it has a better trigger, in my opinion. 15 plus 1, you can get a great deal there. Here's Red Dot compatible CPX2s. Tallow or Talo Edition Heritage Rough Riders 165. CZ Model 70 for $325. Foos, what would you say about that?
What?
The CZ Model 70 in 762 32 ACP for $325.
It's a good surplus gun.
Is that a good price for right now? Is that a good current
for
price?
right now? Yeah, I'd say now you may be able to get 300 somewhere, but
okay.
But of course, all their surplus. So when it dries up, it dries up.
Let's go ahead and filter by price. We'll go high to low and see if we can get some stuff to pop up here. So what's on the high end? The FMK 9C1 Gen 2, that's high. I had one of those. I had, what was it? We had a purple and black one. And some of these prices are just ridiculous, guys. You don't want to pay these, but they should be about, you can get those for around $249. It's an okay gun. I would honestly say go with a SAR instead. Although these are American made, they're actually made in California by a guy who started the company in California, just to show you that you can still make a modern, new American-owned gun company in California. That was kind of the idea behind making it. Here's a P95 DC, which is the decocker model for $350. That'd be a great pistol to pick up. You've got a ton of revolver options. You got the Taurus GX4 OD Green, $350. Defense Dad, how much do those GX4s normally sell for? Is that the average price?
I actually was just looking on Gun.Deals this morning. I think they got one for $50 less than that, if I remember correctly.
300. Okay. Now this one says no credit card fees, which is another thing to consider. Chinese model 213 semi-auto pistol 9mm. Okay, not sure about that one. Kind of looks like a Tokarev sorta. Again, Taurus revolvers 856 is out there also. The Taurus Toro G3s for $350. That's, I believe, the normal price on those, and I think the G3Cs are $300. The Toro has the steel Glock sights and also has an RMR cut, an optics cut, and comes with all of your mounting hardware for the red dot.
I just found it. There's the $309.99 for a GX4 right now on Locked.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Okay. The Bodyguard, I tested the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard. It has a very heavy trigger, very reminiscent of a Sky CPX2. So you really want to test one of those before you try it. I really had to focus hard to shoot it well. Up close and personal, it's a great pistol. I mean, it's going to get the job done, but you can also get those with the Crimson Trace Light. I don't know if it's built into the frame or not, but you can get them with a red dot on it also. Here's a Ruger American for $350. Yeah.
For the Bodyguard, spend a little bit more money and find a used P938.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, on that row, you got the first gun on that row is the standard G3C, and then you got the Toro. They went $350 for both of them.
Yeah, no, the G3C, you can get those for $250 locally for me. If you go online, there's companies advertising them for $215 after the $25 mail-in rebate. Yeah. So I know it's the stainless model, but they generally don't cost more. These are just people that are just, I don't know what you want to call it. They're advertising these thinking that maybe they can catch somebody who thinks they're getting a good deal, you know. Hey, you can get yourself an M&P Shield Easy. Okay, maybe used, no thumb safety for $350. Yeah, these Taurus prices are crazy on some of them.
$349 for the G3C.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Those are $250 all day locally, right?
I think I need more money.
Maybe $299, possibly. Yeah, TP9 SF.
I paid $199 for my G2C.
Yeah, these people are insane. $349 for a Canik TP9 SF. I'd consider that if you don't have Glock 17 money. That comes with 2 or 3 mags, holster, cleaning kit. I mean, you get a lot of good stuff with those out of the box. Here's a Shield, $349, 7 and 8 round magazine. Again, they could be new, they could be used. If you just filter down to whatever you want, you can find a deal if you take the time to look for it. A lot of 22 LRs are out there. See, here's an SD9. Is this used? 2 16 round mags, stainless slide, new in box, $349. It's okay, but I would rather try to get an M&P, a used M&P for the same price if possible, which I was hoping some of those police trade-ins would show up on here because that's what I was seeing last weekend when I was looking. Oh, here you go. Here's an original Sigma in
Oh,
40.
good God.
A Sigma 40 for $349.
In no world is that a $350 gun.
Oh, man. You know what? A collector's item, bro. Collector's item. Look
Yeah.
at that.
Who collects
It's gonna
Sigmas?
appreciate.
Look at that
It's gonna
delicious polymer. It
appreciate.
looks like a big old piece of licorice that we all want to buy.
For as reliable those are, they might as well just be a blue gun for making
Yeah, right.
Man.
holsters.
Yeah, there you go. But the SD9B was based off of this frame and this model. But man, that's look at your granddaddy, kids. Respect your elders. All right, let's go back and see where this puts us
The
here.
Sigma didn't cost that when they were new.
Oh man, yeah, I know. Weren't they like $279 when they were brand new?
They were cheap.
Oh, he got your Thunderstruck in 22 mag, that one that does the 2 shots. Doesn't it do 2 shots at one time when you fire it or something? Isn't that what the thing with the Thunderstruck is? Yeah, double barrel revolver with the
Yeah.
long trigger.
22. That
Yep,
is crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, there's the SAR 9. This is the one that Defense Dad got, right? Is this it? Or no?
Yeah.
SAR 9. Yeah. So they were 215 after rebate, or
219.
219 after rebate. Great pistol.
You can still get it
holsters.
brand new on right now for $249.
Does that fit in a Glock holster, G19 holster or not? I can't remember. Did you say that the trigger bar is a little bit different shape? Yeah. So you can get holsters for it. I think like Phobos makes one for it, paddle holster. So, but the idea on this one, I'm thinking almost bedside gun or maybe a family gun you take to the range or truck gun, so to speak. But without
I've been carrying mine in my same VersaCarry holster. That I mean, it's a universal. It holds my.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can always
my
get a
Walthers.
universal holster for it. I never thought of that. Just a standard whatever. Yeah. The ATI FXS9. Oh, this one's kind of what's this all about? This is fairly new, isn't it? Isn't this a new model?
It looks like M&P.
Kind of, sort of does.
Kinda,
Yeah. I'm gonna guess either Filipino or Turkish made. I'm gonna guess, but different back straps on it. Again, magazines could be an issue on that one, especially if you only get one mag with it. So you might like the looks of something, but you also need to think, okay, part support, warranty support, magazine availability. You know, what do I really want to go for? There's the Mossberg MC1 SC for $349, Canik TP9 SA Mod 2 with 2 mags for $349. You get a lot of XDs that pop up in here, used XDs. Here's a PPQ
Which
22.
not a bad gun.
22. Sorry.
It's just it's just overpriced because Smithhammer
They
Springfield
sprinkle
Arms.
imports them. Yeah.
Back whenever they were an actual creation gun, like the CP2000 or whatever it was a $300 gun on the high end.
Mm-hmm. This is that STR9 made by Stoger. This is an optics ready version for $349. I think they're probably $299, maybe $325 in the stores. Problem on this one, again, magazine availability. I don't know what's out there for mags. You know, they've shown them off on the Stoger website because I was really interested in buying one. I had a buddy that was really interested in getting it, but we looked online and then, you know, magazines were pretty much non-existent. And this one only came with one. Right? This one comes with one 10-round mag. They do sell it with like 2 and or 3 magazine options with multiple back straps as they go up in price, but you're going to probably get a better deal on this one in a store. I know that Shields carries it with the 2 mags, I think for $300, and then the optics cut version with 2 mags and multiple back straps is $349. So Stover's kind of pricing it depending on what you want to spend. So yeah.
At that $350 price point, though, I'd be much more excited about like an Arex Delta 2.
True. Yeah, this is true. You can find those also. I was going to maybe go up the ladder here and just see what's for sale out there, but this is also going to have, I just 100 pistols and parts are showing up. Ton of Heritage Rough Riders, some inexpensive Derringer options. Again, just kind of scrolling up the list here and see what's up there. I want to kind of get to the $200 range and see what you get. So yeah, you've got a lot of options, and I think that's kind of the key that people need to take into consideration. See, like your high points, $139. Again, if you need something that's going to run, you know, you want something relatively inexpensive. High points are not a bad way to go, just as a good, you know, just something to have around the house. And there are holsters for them. So, you know, you can actually get holsters for high points. They're out there.
Keep it in
Start to
your
run into some of the
toolbox,
Phoenix
garage.
arms.
Wait. There's a better way to hold a brick?
Yeah, there are. You can actually get holsters for the high point. There's probably quite a few of them out there. I've seen Phobos makes a paddle holster for it. So there you go.
The high point at 150 or less, perfect gun to throw in one of the drawers in your toolbox out in the garage when you
Look at
walk
this
it.
little gem, guys. Look at that. Is that like the concept gun for high point? Look at that.
What is
Stallard Arms JS9. What in God's green earth is it? Wow. Look at this thing, guy. I think this was this made from stuff you buy at Home Depot?
You can see the tack welds on
You know
the
what's funny is it's
magazine.
probably a collector's item because it's just so, look
That
at
has to be a predecessor to
Whoa.
High Point. That's.
I mean,
even
now
the
for
safety and
150,
everything's
guys.
right.
Look at that thing, man. That is. I wonder if maybe the guy that started High Point maybe made this as like the first guns off their factory or something. I'm really curious. So Mansfield, Ohio,
as their prototype to send for investments.
Look at that thing. Look at that rifling that's in that barrel, man.
Yeah,
I'll tell you
about
this.
no
By the way,
frills.
rifling in the barrel. There's rifling.
If you've got an in-law and you want to arm them, and you love that in-law, this might be the way to go. I hate laughing about guns, but man, I have never seen this before, man. I wonder if it was like a pre-High Point, because it's in Ohio. Isn't High Point based out of Ohio?
Yeah,
It looks
Ohio.
like a cross between a high point and a Tokarev.
It does. Look at that thing. Oh, Squib, I know you want this.
How do you spell it? S-T-A?
This S-T-A-L-L-A-R-D, Stallard Arms. And yeah, JS9. So maybe these guys got bought out by High Point, and then High Point took over and re-engineered the design and came up with the wow. But look at that thing. It looks like it's made out of sheet metal off your house, man.
So a quick Google share. One popular trademark was pistols were branded Stallard Arms, but were manufactured by High Point Firearms.
Wow, look at that. Man, that's a page out of the history book, kids. 150, I'd almost like to have it just as a curiosity piece, just something to kind of, I don't know, it's a lot of money, but still, that's, wow. And you never know what you're going to find when you look around and scour the bowels of Gunbroker.
Well, 150, so that's looking at what, for a family, that's like, what, a half a week's worth of food?
Yes,
so
yes.
It's not crazy.
But for $9 more, you can get an actual High Point with two mag or one mag and a warranty, and But yeah, no, I mean, I'm just saying that as just like a collector's piece, just something, because I've never seen another one of those before in my life. I mean, you might not ever see another one just because it was such an early model. That's probably I'm guessing that's like a 1990s model. We got a ton of heritage Rough Riders out there that you can get. I'd honestly say go for the Ruger Wrangler, or maybe save up a bit more and get the Diamondback Sidekick just because it offers so much more. But I do like the Barkeep, so I would like to pick up a Barkeep, especially with that color case hardened finish. I think they look really nice. Yeah, lots of goodies going on here, man. All right, so okay, so that's anyway. I just wanted to kind of show you when you kind of look around on Gunbroker, that's what's out there. I got to get back to the comments and see what I've missed so far. New York Outcast says, "Dang, that's ugly." Ryan Brown says, "That's a Ghetto Blaster 5000 for real, LOL." Yeah, that's the original Noveske gun, right? G3C is a highly underrated little shooter. I know. I just bought one last night. I'm excited to take it out. I did have a G3. And of course, I got to make my trademark cleaning video on the gun first. So Ryan Brown says that Thunderstruck is a nightmare, LOL. It wishes it was a nightmare. Let's see here. New York Outcast has a question for Squib. He goes, "Hey, you finally get some pep in your step?" X Adam 1 says, "I paid $275 for my Glock 42. It was a rental from an FFL. Best thing about it, it was only rented out once for the year. It sat until I bought it." Yeah, the G42 is a good one. Is that the 380 or is that the Glock 43? I had a G42.
The 380 is 42.
Okay. Yeah. The 42, I just added the Pierce grip extension on the mag, and that totally made it so much easier to shoot. So what else we got out there? TriStar T120 equals Canik Shark FC55, which TriStar T120 looks like the Jericho, doesn't it? William Trader says, "My wife loves Reversa Thunder 380. Yeah, that was one of the ones that I was going to put that on the list for our survey. Speaking of which, let's go back to it. So which $350 or below handgun would you consider buying, or do you own? We've got the M&P Shield with 39%, Taurus G Series with 32%, Security 9 with 14%, Beretta APX on 14%. We're going to go ahead and end that poll. So those are some really interesting numbers. Just wanted to show off. I was just going to show off Taurus real quick and Canik just to see what they have for sale, because they have a plethora. Yes, I just said plethora of guns you can pick up that are going to be way below MSRP, especially now the prices are starting to drop back down. So let's head over to Taurus real quick. I've owned PT111 G2s. I've owned a G3. I currently have a G3C. So they got a lot of different options. The G3X is the new one, which if you had a G3 and a G3 sitting around, I think you could probably just about replicate this. So this is giving you the G3 frame with the G3C slide and barrel, minus the mechanical safety, thumb safety. I'm surprised it's made in Brazil. I thought they were going to be made in the U.S.
I think they're selling just the lower part separately too for people who want to.
Okay, so you can do that conversion. I was kind of curious if you want to do it, because I've done that where I've taken my 365 barrel and slide and put that on a P365 XL frame. Which do they sell it like that? You guys gotta help. Can you do that with the 365 or not? You can do it. I just don't know if they sell it the XL frame with it. You can do it yourself if you want, but
yeah, they sell the grip modules. They make the 365X now.
Oh, okay.
Where it's through the smaller frame, but with the X trigger.
Which I'll tell you,
everybody's doing an X now just because it's popular.
Yeah.
Well, it's the trigger for the X.
Well, the
no, it's not. It's the longer grip. It's the same trigger.
It's longer grip, and it's and the slide's cut for an optic on the X.
It doesn't have the flat trigger on it.
Because I thought the XL, the L was meaning long, and then the X.
The XL is, but the X just means it's the same thing as they did on like the Glock 19X. They have a Glock 17 grip on a 19.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, again, Taurus, they asked them, they said on the G3X, why don't you guys just make a Toro version of it? Or why don't you guys blah, blah, blah? And they said, well, we introduce a model, get it out there, offer it at a certain price point, and then we'll offer an upgraded model with more features on it. He goes, I can tell you, we're going to make an optics cut version of it. It's going to come out. So eventually they're kind of pulling an Apple a little bit, but they're also keeping it at a certain price point. Instead of eliminating a model and eliminating a certain price point buying customer, they're kind of stepping it up for another $50 or another $100. You can go this route or that route. Like a regular G3, I can get one locally for $260. I can get a Toro for $399. The Toro's going to have the optics cut on it. And again, you can get this with a 15 round mag or 17 round mag. So the G3s are great pistols. Mine ran really well. And again, the only reason why I sold this because I wanted to buy another G17 Gen 4. They come in different finishes, different colors. They did tell Gizzard Gary at SHOT Show that they're not going to make the Toros in multiple frame colors. They have no plan to, because they already kind of offer the G3s in all these different frame colors. I really want an OD green G3 Toro, but it's just not going to happen unless I bought a G3 and then bought the Toro conversion kit from Taurus for $150. Then I can have that if I want to, but then I'm dropping $450 into the gun, and I don't want to spend that kind of money. If I'm going to do that, I'll go buy something better. I'll buy something from a more. I might go buy a Smith & Wesson or go buy a Glock or something along those lines. So, but yeah. So again, you've got lots of different options for magazine capacity. They've got 10 round, 15, 17. You get a 15 and 17 round mag with it. I think the G3 only comes with 2 mags. I know the G3C comes with 3. So I can't remember because it's been a while since I did my video, but. Like with the 17 round model, I believe you get a 17 and a 15 in the box, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, mags included too. Or you might be able to go just, completely 17 rounds. So again, Taurus offers a lot of good options. Yeah, you can get them with steel sights. You can also get them in the Toro cut, which also has steel sights on it. So anyway, that's what we have over there at Taurus. And again, a lot of people watch my videos on that, so I wanted to talk about that. Let's see. YNH says, one of the best deals I got was, I'm trying to find that comment. I might have already missed it there. There was a CZ they mentioned that they had picked up. I'll try to find it if I can get it. So what else we got going on out there in the chats? Not seeing much. Glock 42 is my pocket gun. I paid $275 for my Glock 42. Yeah, that was a rental comment. Okay, let's go ahead and go on. We're going to head over to Canik and see what Canik's got going on this year because, again, they offer a slew of guns that are $350 or less in the stores if you look around. And then after that, I don't have any other tabs to share with you guys this morning. So just to see what's out there, they do have their Rival series that's out. They've also got the Mete or whatever you call it. Again, let's see what they have. On the lower end, TP9SF is usually $349 or less. You can get them in black or gold or FDE or a variety of different colors. MSRP is $399. They're usually $349 all day. You get 2 mags with it, case, holster, cleaning brush. any tools that might be necessary to adjust sights. So again, SF is a pretty cool one. I know that Roll Call had problems with his, and I don't know if his was just worn out because he had cleaned it. It was super, super dirty when he got it. And I know that he had cleaned it and it still couldn't reliably run through a mag. But,
wow.
Options on this one accepts both an 18 and 20 round full-size Canic mag. And I don't know if he replaced his recoil spring or what kind of work he did on it, but I know it had issues, which you don't generally hear a lot of problems about Canics because they do get heavily circulated over on YouTube, Elite SC, the model that I had the all black model. It's all completely black, which I like better than the tungsten slide model. And the all black one also has a black trigger. I don't think it has a red trigger on it. Problem I had was that little notch cut out in the back. That's kind of annoying. So you can get replacement base plates for it that'll fill that space on the rear for about $10 over on eBay. There's a guy that's making them. And if you have the larger mags, you have even more of a pronounced notch that's cut out on it because you're trying to put both hands around a longer magazine, and you still have that little space in the back that's cut out. So that's kind of a pain. Now, it says as low as $439.99 MSRP. I've seen them for $399 and I bought mine for $359. So that's, here's the 15 round mag. The little base plate that I bought off of eBay basically filled this spot and then also filled the rear. So it does give you a more natural grip, which does add more pronounced printing if you care about that. But let's see, what else does Canic have for sale? Again, the TP9 SA Mod 2. So Defense Set, help me out here. The TP9 SA, that's got the decocker in it. Is that right?
I
the old
forget. They
SF,
got so many different models now.
Yeah. I think it's just like the old Walther P99. The Mod 2 has a slightly different changed decocking button on the top. It doesn't cover both sides of the slide. It just covers the left side of the slide, if I'm not mistaken. And then they also have the the DA, which is a full-time double action model. Yeah, there's the decocker button that they offer. And then you do like a little half cock on the slide that recocks the striker. So
that's more.
I don't know why they make this. I never understood it. But then the Walther P99 had the exact same feature on it.
Well, I was going to say that's like their original design, and they copied the P99 for the original. So they're probably just trying to keep that.
Yeah, but the fact that you've even done like a mod too, it's like I'm surprised they haven't moved it out. But I mean, again, the price is one of the reasons why a lot of people buy it. They're willing to look past the decocker option, which I highly doubt you'd ever hit unless you're like going through some severe environment, But here's the DA. This one does interest me quite a bit. Again, this is full-time double action. This would kind of be close to say like a G17 or G19. You don't have any other than just having a trigger safety. Oh no, the DA does have the decocker. I thought they make one that's a full-time double action that does not have a decocker on it. I could be wrong, but your SF would be like that, I guess, when you think about it. There's no safety on it. And again, you can go all the way up to the Elite Combat models, which run $700-800, about $650 locally. Yeah.
Here's my problem with what Canon, and it's fine. They're getting real popular, but like you get into the ones that people really want, like the Elites. Now you're approaching within $100 of the actual Walther money.
That's a good point. Yeah, that was another good point that you made about that. Yeah. So, I mean, people that are fans of it, they kind of see themselves upgrading, and they've got a lot of nice hop-up parts they put on it, the better trigger. You've got the Salient Arms barrel on it, threaded, higher suppressor grade sights,
If you go back down to some of those, then you can get a PDP for $600, which is an actual Walther product.
Yeah.
Rather than you're pretty. I mean, it's and get what you want, but in the $350 range, I'm cool with Canic. But if you're talking $600-700, I'm going to go buy what it's trying to emulate.
Yeah, my PDP, I'm seeing the PDPs for $600 now, new, any size of frame, 5-inch model, 4.5-inch model, whatever they make. But the PDPs I love my Walther PDP. It's a great shooting gun, fantastic trigger, really, really nice pistol. So, it's one of those things where it really has impressed me with what it has to offer. So I really like the PDP. It took a while to get magazines for it. That was the only catch. That was the only bad thing about it. Okay, so Clover Tack out there, he says Galloway Precision offers some great aftermarket spring kits for a lot of handguns, including the Canic. Yeah, Galloway Precision, like I said, I bought a stainless steel guide rod spring combo from SD9VE. Aside from the fact it was hard to get because they were sold out, I've had great luck with it. So Galloway, Apex gun parts, there's a lot of aftermarket support for those guns. Now, just be careful if you get something that's going to lighten, say like a striker spring or modify in any way, shape, or form. Do your research. And just make sure that you know what's going to happen to it. Because I remember the SD9VEs, if you put the full Apex aftermarket trigger in it, people were complaining about light primer strikes on it because of the striker spring. So a lot of guys would put the full kit in it, but then retain the original factory striker spring, and that would help encourage, function of it. So just make sure you know what you're doing. If you modify something, what's it going to do? Read up on the research on it. Is it just going to change the recoil impulse? Is it going to make it less reliable? Because you don't want to mangle it, especially if it's your only gun, and makes it less reliable than it is also. Clover Tax says, I'm late, but remember the new BRG9 MSRP is $399, so they will be cheaper. BRG9. Let's check that out real quick. I'll switch over to BRG. Oh, yeah. Okay, so let's talk about this. To me, this is basically what Springfield should be charging for their firearms. This really shows you guys are going to love this, what the competition can bring when it basically brings the exact same gun, right? So here we go, guys. BRG Firearms. There you go. So yeah, they're showing $399, $429, $419. I can guarantee you're going to see these for $350. So it kind of has some Springfield influence. Now, are these Turkish made, or are these made over in Europe by the company that also makes the XDs? Do you guys know? I really don't know.
They were just talking about this on Ghost Show on Tuesday. And
yeah. Oh, yeah, it was.
I thought they were Turkish.
Okay.
I thought they were.
It offers a lot right out of the box. Yeah, I mean, there you go. Now, again, if you could get one for $350, it'd be worth checking out, especially if you don't want to support Springfield Armory. You have an opportunity not to. So let me see if I see anything that
Clover says they're Turkish.
Yeah, made in Turkey. Yeah, made in Turkey. BRG Berga Metal is what it says on a Buffalo Cartridge Company. Oh, so Buffalo's importing them. Yeah, that's right. Because I remember seeing on either, what was it, Ghost Show, if I'm not mistaken, they had Buffalo featured, and they were also talking about the BRG9. So now this one says you can buy direct and have it shipped to your FFL. That's cool. Buy directly from the manufacturer. Now you're going to pay full MSRP for it if you don't mind waiting a little while till they show up in the store. But if you say it's $375 elsewhere, but you got to pay a transfer fee of $25 to $50, then you're really, yeah, that's actually pretty impressive. So if you're an XD fan or not, or you've always wanted an XD but you don't want to support Springfield, you've always got an option here too. So interesting.
I'm sorry, but personally, like I said in the chat, Springfield guns are just fugly.
It depends, because I like their 1911s. I mean, I took them to the range.
Yeah,
and, I mean, that was an awesome. I don't know who makes them for Springfield, if they make them, but yeah, you mean the XD guns?
Yeah, it's just me. I can't get over the looks of them, even if it wasn't just Springfield's history. I just don't like the way they look.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Clover Tax says, yeah, they're Turkish Ghost, and I both had them on the podcast last week. So get over there and check out the Ghost Tactical podcast. Or Clover Tax, was it you or was it Ghost that hosted it? I can't remember. So now Clover Tax says they look like the XD, but there's a lot of differences with the slide rails, the metal used, and a few other things. Could, not much experience with them, be better than the XD. So might be something worth checking out. Now, Clover Tax says, I love my old school XD9. The new one's not so much. Looking forward to hopefully comparing. Okay, cool. Good to know. Let's see here. XAdam1 says, which is why I don't own any. I only consider the 1911 operator and 10 millimeter. Yeah, I like their 1911s are great. When I took it apart and cleaned it, I was very impressed by the fit and finish. When I took it to the range, it shot well. The one that I took out there about 4 or 5 years ago. So Clover says both of us. Ghost went into more into the ammo. I think I stayed more with the gun. So guys, if you're interested in that, you're curious about something new, head over and check out Clover Tac and Ghost Tactical's videos on those pistols. So FLP Montevelli says, envy of Americans. Here in Brazil, a gun costs the value of a car. A simple pistol is more than 4 times minimum wage. G2C. Yeah, if you look up the Brazilian MSRP, you can look up Taurus's catalog in Portuguese. You can actually visit the Brazilian market catalog, and you can see all the submachine guns that they manufacture. You can see all the pistols that they make that we don't actually get here. Like they've got some modern 380s that we don't get that look like Beretta 92 clones. So they've got, because I don't know if Brazilians can buy, if civilians can own 9mm or not. I remember 380 was what your limit was for your average civilian. If you wanted 9mm or 40, you had to be law enforcement or military. But I know people complain all the time. They say that it's sad that we have this gun made here, but we got to pay like 3 to 4 times more, like $800 or $900 for a G2C, whereas we export it to the Americans for like pennies on the dollar. So that's interesting. Although I was thinking that the G3 or G3C was going to be made in the U.S. now, or they were going to start making it in America. I can't remember. G3Cs might be made in the U.S. or assembled here in the U.S. So, okay, now Clovertech says, are they 92 clones or are they Cheetah clones? Clover, I'd have to go to the website and look. I thought they made a full-size 92 in 380, but I could be totally wrong. It could be a Cheetah clone or like an 84 BB clone or something like that. But you look up Taurus's Brazilian Firearms catalog and you can see what they have to offer. So it's kind of cool.
92 clone in 380, man, that thing would not have any recoil.
Yeah, if it was a full size, yeah. Taurus, Brazil. I'll just see if I can happen to find their catalog, but Taurus Export. I don't know if that's the same company or not, but yeah, you can look up their full catalog on there and see what they have to offer. So, yeah, I don't know if we're going to go through this because it would take a whole nother. Their export catalog is kind of their full catalog that they have online that you can look at. So. Yeah, I'm just seeing the models that we get here in the U.S., so I'm not seeing anything. Oh, they do have their TS series. Well, we might just do this real quick here. Yeah, let's just go ahead and check this out real quick, and then we'll go ahead and call it. So let's go to share. All right, so if you go to Taurus's complete catalog, you can see what they offer that we don't get. So starting at the top again, we have these. You got your G3s, your G3 Toros. They have all the different frame colors that you can get for it. G3Cs, G2Cs. I'm not sure if they're still making the G2S. Here's the TS series, which they've never brought to the US. I'm surprised they don't, but I think they don't want to cannibalize G3 sales. But this is basically their military police grade striker fire that they offer. And this came out about 4 years ago. Funny thing is, Classic Firearms had this listed on their website. They told me they were going to start carrying them, and then they just totally disappeared. So it's also designed, I believe, by the guy that designed the Steyr pistol. And then he also went on and had his own company for a little while. So it does have a famous designer that actually designed the gun itself. So yeah, the TS9. Then you got your TH in 9 and 40, which the THs, you can still get them here if you look around. They were fairly cheap at one point, like around $275 or $3.25. So here we go. Then you go to metallic. So you got the 92 9mm. Here's the 57 SC. So let's check and see if that's 9 or 380 or what that is. So that's 32 auto. Okay. PT57 SC, which some of these may have been imported at one point or another. Single action, double action, 32 auto, 12+1 capacity. There's the 917 compact. I thought they had a full-size 92 and 380, but I could be wrong. Maybe at one point they offered one, but that's what they have right now. And I know you can also go to their military side. You can look at all their machine guns and rifles and all that fun stuff that we don't necessarily get here in the U.S. Let's see if I can happen to find that real quick before we go. I think it's just going to go back to the page. Law enforcement. Okay, so here's the law enforcement side of Taurus. So this is what they actually manufacture. They've got their full auto rifles for their home market and for export. A lot of guys don't realize that they did try making and selling an AR-15 in the U.S., but they were like double what you'd pay for most of your ARs. Here's their submachine guns that they sell. Submachine guns and carbines. So they do actually, on the law enforcement side, they do offer quite a bit more too. So anyway. All right. Yeah, Clovertax says it looks like a Cheetah. Yeah, I thought at one point they had 380s out there. So X-Adam1 says, don't call it. I've got nothing planned for today. The show must go on. X-Adam1, I got to go to the range, buddy. I got a PC carbine, and it's going to be 50 degrees, and it's calling my name, and it wants to be shot. So I've got a red dot on it, and I gotta get out there, man. I'm sorry, bud. So, all right. FLP Matavelli says at Travis P11. Okay. All right. So anyway, let's go ahead and wrap this one up. Again, just showing you what's out there, what kind of variety you can find, what kind of fun stuff you can run into. If you look around out there on the new and used market today for $350, what's for sale. All right, let's go ahead and let the panel give us their final plugs. We'll give a shout out on the YouTube side, and we're going to go ahead and call it. So, Defense Dad, we'll start with you. Anything you want to say before we go?
No, fun show.
All right, you going to try to get out there and shoot before you go to work? Any plans?
Nah, it's going to be too rushed.
All right. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. But it was good. It was good to be here, and you're kind of the master of the $350 gun. So,
seem to be.
Let's see. Oh, Night Strike is apologizing. He says I can't make it today, but he's got a pretty good reason for it. But I won't mention it here. But all right. Okay, so guys, make sure you check out Defense Dad's channel. He's got a lot of great videos, a lot of great content, wonderful video editing. If you want to learn how to get your channel up and running and want to take some cool cues on lighting and effects and audio, check out Defense Dad's channel. Squibload, anything you want to say before we go?
Not really much to add. That price point really kind of limits me on my my choices. In the past, I've found things in that price range, but pretty much everything that I bought for $350 or less has gone up in value or replacement cost. It's unavailable, unobtainium, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I agree, man. Everything's double or triple what it used to be. So
yeah, while you were talking, I was looking at stuff that legally is not considered a firearm, but I call it a firearm, and that was black powder revolvers.
Yes.
And they're low on stock, and you're really not going to find too many under that price range. The one you've got.
Yeah, I bought that kit for like $100 a year ago. That black powder kit, the tradition starter kit. Yeah. Now $300, $319. I was like, what? So I couldn't believe that. Yeah.
Just the revolver itself with nothing is $260.
Oh my God.
So when you can find it. So it's even if you go that route, and excuse me, if you don't already have the infrastructure, if you're just buying the revolver and then you get home and you go, all right, where do I put the cartridges in?
Now you got to go buy everything that goes along with that's another $50 minimum, if not more, to get going. You got to get powder, you got to get projectiles, you got to get bore butter, you got to get all this fun stuff that goes along. That's why I bought the kit. At least with the kit, I got an introduction of what I need and what I can improve on. So at least I had a taste of what's required to run a black powder revolver at a minimum. So
yeah, somebody may have the itch and they've got a price point and they go, oh, I'll get into one of these. And then they get into it and they find out, what's really involved. Now, I always encourage people to get into stuff like that, something that's kind of outside of their scope, so that they appreciate more things in our culture, right? But it's not for everybody.
No, it's like Nebraska. It ain't for everyone. Yep. I agree totally, man. Yeah, there's going to be a lot that's going to go along with it. Again, it's fun to dabble with and play along with and stuff. But again, for $350, we've just shown you a lot of really good options. We've shared our personal experiences with guns that we've owned, guns that we would trust to run, and guns we would definitely stay away from. So, all right, make sure you guys check out the Squibload channel and Squiblift channel. Speaking of Squibish is a fantastic series. I think everybody needs to follow it. Really opens your mind to thinking. I like that. It really makes you think. And again, it might challenge your views, and that's a good thing. I think healthy discourse is something we need as human beings on this planet. So make sure you guys check out the Squibload channel. Let's see. Also joining us today was Single Shot. Single Shot, anything to say before we go?
Well, I hope everybody has a great day. Good show, Travis. A lot of
it's
good
just fun talking, man. Just seeing what's out there, and I don't like to I don't like to recycle topics, but yeah, if it's a topic we haven't covered in a year and a half or 2 years, it's fun to go back to it. So yeah.
They when I was fueling the truck, I got quite the shock, to say the least. And I hope people really start thinking about this, because I put in 238 gallons in this truck, and it ran $985.85.
Almost a grand to fill up the semi.
$4.15 a gallon.
How much?
$4.15 a gallon.
Oh, I don't know what diesel goes for out here. Man, you need to find yourself a Costco, man. Holy cow. Yeah.
I'm telling you, and it really makes me feel bad about saying something like that. But, folks, this government is going to chew us right into the ground. I've never paid that much for fuel. Never. In 33 years?
I say adjusted for inflation, the gas crunch in the 70s.
I paid $5 a gallon for diesel.
God. I'll say this.
It's been that high before.
Yeah, fuel was pushing $4.25, 10 years ago or something like that? 11 years ago, we were paying $4.25, $4.75. People were going nuts.
Yeah.
Because I remember, we had a commute that we had to take for some classes that we were taking for college, and it was insane. It was like $200 for a round trip. It was nuts. Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway. So,
But anyway,
guys, make sure you check out the
home
Single Shot
for
channel.
A few days. I'm headed home
Go ahead.
for a few days, and maybe I can actually get something done. I've had quite a busy schedule here. Last 3 trips, I've been home for about 34, 36 hours, get a reset on my time, and I'm gone again. And I told a lady in the office there, I've got to take a break because I am getting tired. So that's what I plan on doing. I've got a few ideas for videos. Check out the Rumble channel. I am under Daywolf, DAYWOLF, and I am transferring my videos from YouTube over there because I'm getting tired of YouTube's foolishness. So check it out. God bless everybody. Take care. America moves by truck until we're
Absolutely,
broke.
man. Absolutely. Verdi says, let's get back to 1986 gas prices. All right. And last but not least, joining us today, Rich White. Rich, anything you want to say before we go?
Yeah, just be sure to check out the wrestling show tonight if you're into professional wrestling. And tomorrow night, This Week Unloaded, 9:05 p.m. Eastern tonight and 8:30 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night.
Okay.
And another reason to do the black powder revolvers, it gives you a historical perspective on what people were going through back in the early half of the 1800s when they were starting to come out with these revolvers.
Absolutely, man. If you want to feel for what it was like back in the day, that's going to give it to you. So all the fun that goes along with it. Cool, man. Yeah, I have mine. I still need to take mine out and shoot it. Maybe this spring we'll go ahead and break it out when it warms up a little bit. So, all right, what do we got here? So out there, Yoder Texas says, hey, I'm awake on a Saturday morning. Hi, Travis B11. Yoder, I haven't heard from you for like 2 years, man. I didn't know what happened to you. I mean, I'm sure you probably comment on the videos and stuff, or you chat and stuff, but I've been missing you, buddy. So good to see you too. Like I said, we offer wake-up calls on this channel. If you want to get woken up at 5:30 when I do Central Time, I'll be happy to do that to you. So just let me know, guys. Also, shows today. G23, is G23 going to have a show today? You guys know? I think so. Guys, go over to G23's channel on YouTube and see if he might be going live today. Also, Rick's Life as I See It should be live today. Sean Ponnery also has a show. Squib, can you help me on this one? Sean Ponnery, I was subscribed to him. What is his channel called? Because he has this podcast that he does after Caliber Corner, right?
Ponnery's Penny Arcade or something.
See, I tried looking under. I didn't know if it was under like Sean PWNRY, which is what his tag is or whatnot. I've tried to find it, so I need to find out what it is. I can promote it a little bit because I thought I was subscribed to, but I can't find his chats until after he posts them over on the Gun Channel's lobby on Facebook.
Yeah, and I don't see a notification for it either, so I don't know if it's doing one today or not.
So Yoder says no thank you on the 5:30 a.m. wake-up calls. How about 6 o'clock, Yoder? We'll do that for you. There you go. Get to see that beautiful Texas sunrise. Yeah. Oh, X Adam 1 says lowest gas prices I've seen in my lifetime was unleaded at 87 cents a gallon. I think that happened in 1999 or 2000, maybe 2001. There was like for a week it was 99 cents a gallon. I don't know what happened, but I was filling up daily. So yeah, those were the good old days. All right. So let's see.
I remember when that was 35 cents a gallon.
Oh man, 35 cents a gallon. What was that? Like 1950s or what?
That
was like 75
in
cents
the
when I
late
started
60s.
driving. Okay, I remember $1.25 back in 1993 when I got my driver's license. So that's 93, 94, something like that. So, yep. All right, we're gonna go ahead and call it. Let's
real quick. I threw Single Shots Rumble channel site up, the link to it out there in the chat, so people can go over there and subscribe to him over there.
There you go. Check it out over on Rumble, guys. All right, so join us today on the YouTube side. We got Yoder Texas, New York Outcast, Rich White, X Adam 1, Squibload, Bernie Sanchez. Let's see, Gunmetal Guy USA, Kingpin, Kevin June. Kevin, thank you again in advance for the package. I appreciate that. X Adam 1 in the house, Clovertac joining us, FLP Matavelli's out there, Slide Bite 75 in the house, Mystic Guns watching today. Got a lot of the usual suspects, as we like to call them. YNH is out there. Defense Dad was pulling double duty over there and over here and over there. YNH watching us today. William Trader out there. I saw Scott 79 out there. Mel the Nuts out there. Good morning, Mel. Good to see you, buddy. Ozzy Orsborn. Bap Nednarb is out there also. Bot75 watching today. So again, good morning to everybody that's joining in. Fluffy 10mm Jeep guy. If I missed anybody, I do apologize. M. Gabriel, first person to sign in this morning and say hello. Ryan Brown's out there also. Terrace Miss Kitchen. All right, and for the panel, I think that's about it. Tactical Fud. I think that's everybody I'm seeing. Oh my gosh, X Adam 1 had a super chat. X Adam 1 super chat. Thank you. I didn't even see it. I didn't even see an alert. I probably because I was doing the share screen on there. So X Adam 1, thank you so much for that. It will definitely get put to good use. Guns and ammo for the channel. Don't worry about that. We're doing a lot of shooting lately. So Mike, Gizzard, Gary, and I think that's it. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching today. We'll be back again next Saturday, 8 a.m. Central Time. People have chimed in and said, when are you going to go back to your other time? I haven't. We were running a Monday night show for about 3 years ago when I was coming to Lincoln every weekend, and I couldn't do it on Saturdays because I was on the road. So we're going to keep doing Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. Gives people something to look forward to, something to do in the morning, and kind of occupy people's time. So Tony York out there also. Good morning, Tony. So that's it. So thanks for joining in today, guys. It's been episode number 222. Season 4. If you want to support the channel, check me out over on patreon.com/TravisB11. If you're a patron, you get a Travis B11 sticker. You get entered into our monthly drawings, and you also get to watch my videos early. So we offer a little bit of value for a minimum buy-in of $1 a month. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Have fun. Be safe. And as you know, we will talk to you soon. All right, bye-bye.
Bye, Alicia.
Bye-bye.
See you later, Alicia. See you next Saturday.